And so for Money Tuesday, is there something that you can do in your current job or maybe position yourself at another job to make more money to offset the high inflation? Joining us from the Welch Group is Marshall Clay to help you out with that. Good to see you, Marshall.
Good to see you, Mike.
Yeah, we'd all like to make more money. It's not that easy, though. We have to do some things, take some steps to make that happen.
Yeah, that's right. So the last several weeks, I've seen numerous stories talking about how people can cut things out of their budget in order to sort of navigate through this inflationary environment. But I want to take a more positive spin this morning for your viewers and talk about ways that they can put themselves in a position for that raise, as you mentioned, and help them maintain lifestyle and not have to really pull back. And so the first thing I talk about is just showing up to prove your reliability. And I think about the Good Day Alabama team and how you guys, you've got personal lives, you've got things going on, but every day you guys show up early morning hours, you're here for your viewers, you're providing great information, and the viewers have learned to depend on you guys, and that's why you're at the top of the ratings.
The show must go on.
That's right, exactly. So just showing up to work with a great attitude, ready to work, is certainly the first step. The second thing is just thinking like an owner. So I think a lot of times as employees, we have this closet-minded view of only doing our assigned tasks.
What our role is.
Yeah, what our role is. And I think it's got to make sense, but you want to think outside the box. Think of ways that you can add value to the organization that are above and beyond what your assigned tasks are. Owners have to look at the entire organization, right? They can't just look at one area. So thinking like an owner is very,
so
very
the big
important.
picture, and I always feel like it's important to, the brand is always important. The bottom line is protecting the brand, expanding the brand. So, but now this obviously relates to people in certain professions. Obviously, if you're working a part-time job or retail, there are ways to get advancement there. But so talk about the third step.
Yeah, so I think and a lot of employers do this, but requesting periodic reviews is very, very important. It allows you to talk about your accomplishments. It allows you to talk about ways that you can improve or ask questions about ways that you can improve. But probably most importantly is expressing what your goals and your vision of the future is to your employer, right? Mm-hmm. So that your employer can match up their needs with what your goals are. And so it's very important to communicate with your employer about where you see yourself 1, 3, 5 years down the road, mm-hmm. so that they can maximize your potential and what your goals are for the future.
That's so important too, because you think about it, if somebody's running a company, although they have their hand in everything, they may not know everything everybody's doing at every single time. So if you're doing more you think that adds value to the company, you should let that be known.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And I tell people, look, your employers, they care about you, but you're the one that's in charge of your future. So you need to go out and make it happen, and communicating with your employer about what your goals and objectives are. It shows that you care, and it's going to put you in a position where you can get those raises and advance in the organization to ultimately make more money.
All right, just a quick detour here. Obviously we're seeing the markets fluctuate. We expect that volatility based on the inflation. How do you think the markets will respond? People have money in their 401ks. Should they respond in any fashion?
Well, I think, the expectation was for 8.4% this morning. I think it came in a little bit hotter than that. So it's not really outside of what we were expecting. I think everybody sees the inflation out there. I think the real key is to look at some of those shorter term rates and see how far and how fast the Federal Reserve is going to have to raise those rates to sort of bring this inflation down. We cannot continue at 8.5%. So they're going to have to take some steps. And so, I would say if you're a younger investor, continue to put money in that 401k because there's likely to be more volatility. If you're a pre-retiree or retiree, certainly somebody who's relying on your portfolio, make sure that you have at least 6 months to a year of that cash flow readily available.
Marshall Clay with the Welch Group. Some things we'll be continuing to watch. Up next, the Good Day Buzz. Stick around.
The on-time service plumbers